We have the responsibility of being the voice for our constituents. So I was here today to gather information and get questions answered about how this event would affect our district.
Miami is preparing to host two major global events: the FIFA Men's World Cup and the G20 Heads of State Summit. In preparation, an operations workshop was held today at the Miami International Airport Auditorium, bringing together diplomats and representatives from G20 nations. The day began with registrations and early networking as attendees connected ahead of a full schedule of discussions. Inside, final preparations were underway as guests settled in and grabbed coffee and some light breakfast. The session was called to order by Mr. Desmond Alufuha.
As we all know, Miami-Dade County is set to take center stage in 2026 as we host two defining global events: the FIFA Men's World Cup from June 11th to July the 19th, and of course, the G20 Summit of Heads of States in December, the foremost platform for international economic cooperation. This exceptional convergence of global sport and high-level diplomacy offers our county a powerful opportunity to demonstrate leadership, strengthen international partnerships, and inspire communities worldwide. It is my pleasure at this time to invite our leader of this outstanding airport. He oversees operations in Miami International Airport and the four general aviation airports across Miami area, Mr. Ralph Coutier.
Followed by welcome remarks from the Miami International Airport Director and CEO.
We've upgraded about 50 of our 447 restaurants and terminals. So our modernization program and capital program are well underway. Last week, we had the engagement of our G60 project, which is a $1.1 billion project over at G60 North Terminal. We'll have 17 brand new contact gates with glass loading bridges and 30,000 square feet of Texas space and lounge space. So very excited about that project. Last week, we worked around on our new concourse gate, which is the first terminal expansion in the last few years of our airport, with a $750 million project over in South Terminal. And will include domestic narrow-body gates.
Aviation security readiness was highlighted in a presentation by Mark Hartfield.
We want to make this the safest, most secure airport in the country, in the world, and we work every day to do that. The players are pretty significant. Probably, I've done a suggestion out about 5,000 total people here. If you look at the federal, the local, the law enforcement, first responders, the contract security, the civilian security, people whose primary or sole responsibility is safety and security. It's about 5,000 people. hundreds and even thousands more beyond that outside of the airport who are stand at the ready to come in and render mutual aid.
Closely followed by the first panel of the G20 Heads of State Summit preparation.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we now transition into the phase of our workshop where we bring in our dynamic and discuss substantive exchange of ideas. Our panelists bring a wealth of experience and practical insight, and I encourage everyone to engage thoughtfully as we move into this next segment. Miss Shannon Eisenhart. And to introduce our panel and invite them to the stage. Thank you.
Thanks, Desmond. Can everybody hear me? Good morning, everyone. Be like Desmond. Good morning. It's great to see everybody's smiling faces. As Desmond mentioned, my name is Shannon Eisenhut. I'm the Regional Director of the Office of Foreign Missions, the Miami Regional Office. I cover West Virginia to Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands with the Foreign Missions. The foreign missions, I know a lot of people think that it's the traditional foreign missions and embassies, consulate, honorary consul. This also includes international organizations as well as miscellaneous foreign government offices, so cultural, trade, education, investment, things of that nature. We have over 400 foreign missions that fall under my purview. We also have about 100 plus countries, as well as 3,300 people that we manage. So quite busy. Of course, we have a very small but mighty team. In just a second. But first, I'd just like to say thank you, Ralph. Thank you for your leadership. For the MDAD family, we have been great partners for a long time. We really appreciate.
Well, if it's for a request for some type of service, a protocol request, my recommendation number one would be Desmond and his team, because they work with our travel protocol office, which is the office that works directly with the Department of State in order to establish the diplomatic approvals in order to provide either some type of a screening exemption for a head of state or to provide expedited service.
A second plenary session, moderated by Matt Ratner, focused on the readiness of Miami ahead of FIFA Men's World Cup.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. On behalf of the Greater Miami Convention and Visitors Bureau, it's truly an honor to be a part of today's workshop and to join many of the members of the international diplomatic community. First, thank you, Desmond, and the Protocol Department for hosting the workshop here at the airport. MIA will serve as one of the main gateways welcoming athletes, media, officials, fans from all over the world. So today's conversation is really about how we will prepare as a community, from airport operations to emergency planning to global event logistics. Before we dive in, I want to take a quick moment to talk about why Miami.
On top of the host city airports where the major guests from FIFA and also the spectators will be going, we also have 48 team-based camps. So these are the house away from the house from every single team. So the teams will be based sometimes if the team-based camp is close to the host city. So they will be activating the host city airport, but they also have 24 other airports that are going to be used throughout the tournament. So we are talking about 58 airports being used throughout this tournament in 3 different countries with 3 different government agencies. So it's a lot of coordination, a lot of integration that we have been doing for the past 2 years and a half. But until now, everything is organized, ready to go.
After discussions and Q&A sessions, guests broke out for lunch and continued networking as they enjoyed their meal. The day concluded with a guided tour of the airport, showcasing its readiness for the global stage.
As the Chief of Staff in Congresswoman Wilson's office, we have the responsibility of being the voice for our constituents. So I was here today to gather information and get questions answered about how this event would affect our district because the game is being played in our district. The Hard Rock Stadium is about 2 miles from my office. So my question today had to do with how it would affect our district, and I was so happy it's answered, and it was very enjoyable and very informative.
Planning already well underway, Miami is positioning itself as a global hub, ready to host two of the world's most significant events. This is today's Africans in Diaspora exclusives. Thank you for watching.